Soma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, actually, I'm kind of happy the NFL playoffs is going down, but I'm a little, upset that one of my teams ain't in there and one of my players ain't in there, but I'm still gonna watch it. It's still going down. Got a little defense going down. You know what I mean? Little defense for a change. They ain't 60 to 59. So I'm digging that. But anyway, let's get to the point. Bottom line, we're talking boxing here, right? And the news of the last couple of days, listen, one of the big fights in boxing, you got a lot of fights that you probably want to see, but one of the big fights in boxing is a former champion, I forget which, I think it was IBF champion, welterweight champion, in Jerron Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz, right? Perennial good fighter. Can't say he hasn't had a championship yet, but he's a pretty good fighter. Right? Everybody knows that. I think Vergil Ortiz has won every fight except the Bohacek fight. I think the Bohacek fight, he lost that one. But he got the nod, which was ridiculous, but he got the nod. He was down 2 times in that fight. And when you're down 2 times in that fight, you got to really beat the guy up to get the nod, or your name got to be Tyson Fury. Other than that, you shouldn't be getting that fight. Whatever, though. Vergil Ortiz, I think we can all agree, is a good fighter. So, or else it wouldn't be a good fight against him and Boots Ennis. And so this fight is supposed to be going down since they've been in the welterweight division, and it still hasn't happened. Most people think Vergil Ortiz doesn't want to fight Boots Ennis. I think maybe 60% would think that. 40% would think Boots don't want nothing to do with Vergil Ortiz. So at the end of the day, we're happy to, see that we're about to get this fight. Well, after Vergil Ortiz beat up your boy Lubin, your boy Boots got in the ring and thought that it was going to go down. But Vergil Ortiz started talking about later Errol Spence, who's, we shouldn't be talking about Errol Spence. We did a video about that. What should Errol Spence do? Right? A few people looked at it, but we did a video about that. Let Errol Spence get back first before it starts saying his name. But anyway, we still thought the fight would happen. But what had happened of late, Vergil Ortiz, or Oscar De La Hoya came out, his manager and promoter came out and said, hey, his promoter, came out and said that, hey, it's going to have to be 60-40 for Vergil Ortiz plus 5% for the winner. Everybody should know that by now. And that's ridiculous because Vergil Ortiz, you're not a champion, right? The only thing Vergil Ortiz got going for him is he's Mexican. And, they can just say stuff, right? You're not a champion. The champion should get more. All this popular stuff. That's what we'd be talking about. We'd be complaining about that all the time. I'm not going to get into it now. But that's what he said, which made people think, well, you obviously don't want the fight. Man, I can't come in and say 50-50 and leave it at that. Or 55-45 for Boots because he's the champion. But he says the resume for Vergil Ortiz is better than Boots Ennis. It's close. But in the 154-pound division, Boots Ennis, you only fought Limas. And old boy fought Bohacek, but didn't win, and he beat Majimov, a sick Majimov, but he beat him. Those are 2 names that are better than Limas' name. So that's what you can say that. But in the whole career, then we can start arguing again. But at the end of the day, whatever. Champion should probably get a tick more. But that's what we know the fight wasn't going to happen, right? Because Oscar De La Hoya came out with that. Now the new news is Vergil Ortiz sues Oscar De La Hoya, right? Because, they insinuate that he wants to fight so bad that he's suing Oscar De La Hoya because Oscar De La Hoya is in the way of the fight, right? Now, when that came out, I could have said something like everybody else. I just was like, my opinion of that, just listening to that, is suing Oscar De La Hoya going to basically mean you can't get the fight right now, right? Which is probably the goal. That's how cynical I can get sometimes. It's like, yeah, well, right now you ain't going to get the fight. Right? Because if you sue Oscar De La Hoya, obviously you're not going to get the fight right now. That's how I think about it, right? So, let's see what happens, but that's what I think about that. Like, I give you another example. America's going over here right now, messing with Venezuela, want to go mess with Greenland. As long as we messing with somebody. As long as you start a war, there can't be elections, right? And a criminal is looking away, how can I not go to jail? By starting some smack somewhere, right? So at the end of the day, then there won't be elections and I can keep doing criminal stuff in front of your eyes every day, right? So that's similar to, well, if I sue, I ain't got to fight. That's what I'm looking at. I would just, try to let Oscar De La Hoya talk that 60-40 stuff. Go tell Oscar De La Hoya, dude, let's go get this fight. Because this is what you guys got to remember. Oscar De La Hoya, love him or loathe him, whatever. But he said before, he said it, if the fighter really wants the damn fight, then I'm going to go get him to fight. He done said that on several occasions when he had to put Canelo Alvarez on blast. Right, because he was like, Canelo don't want to fight nobody, and he was sick and tired of going out here lying for Canelo, right? And everybody thinking he's the problem, and he's lying for Canelo Alvarez. They didn't want to fight nobody. Canelo didn't want no part of Demetrius Andrade or Jamal Charlo, never, ever. And Oscar De La Hoya had to keep lying. So when they, finally broke up, then he started telling on him. Eric Gomez, the damn other guy, told you that they were keeping Canelo from certain styles, right? So at the end of the day, those certain styles that they were keeping Canelo from is definitely the epitome of what Jaron Boots in this is. So, guys, just put two and two together. I don't know how y'all gonna do it. Yeah, Vergil Ortiz is suing Oscar De La Hoya. I'll start believing that when suing Oscar De La Hoya leads to the fight with Boots Ennis next, then I'll be on board. But right now, suing Oscar De La Hoya means the fight still ain't happening. Period. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide, and I'm up out of here, y'all.